To be here talking about The Night of the Living Dead. This is a game that we work with support of NTIE project scaling phase in 2024. And it's a game about financial literacy. So Amy and I will be presenting today about the game. We have some interaction parts that I'm going to ask your participations. We have some gameplay as well, because I think that's the best way to show or present the game to anyone, is like let you play the game. And if you have any questions, you can put the questions on the chat. We're going to have some space for questions at the end as well. But I hope you enjoyed the session. Let me see if my slides are working. Okay, so here's just a brief introduction about us. So we are part of New Mexico State University. Our department is called Innovative Media Research and Extension. So we work with the creation, the design and development of educational tools like games, apps, virtual reality. I'm an assistant professor and also an extension specialist working with educational technology. Amy, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm an instructional designer and a writer, and I like to work with content experts to translate knowledge into these digital media forms, especially learning games.
Yes, and most of our projects, I would say all our projects, we collaborate with content experts. And for this project, for example, we collaborate with Dr. Luke Erickson from the University of Idaho. He was the specialist on personal finance. So he advised us on the content as we created the game. Oops. And we have like this little scale here. So our game is based on like a zombie land. So we usually have this like, how are you feeling today scale when we work with youth or like young adults. And for you today, we have this scale of like 9 zombies. They will ask you to put in the chat, how are you feeling today? I definitely will be number 2, like falling, trying to figure out my Zoom. Oh, let me go back. Sorry. Carla is number 3. SP's 3. Kimberly's 9. Jessica is 6. After tech difficulties, Melanie's 5. I mean, it's so hard. They look like so similar.
Nicole, I'm so glad you chose 3. I love that zombie.
The 3 is like nerdy and trying to see, but I feel like myself, sometimes my glasses are so dirty that I cannot see. 6, there's a happy one, yay! Oh, there's more than 1 6. There's a lot of happy people here. That's nice. Yeah, number 4 is like, what is happening there for sure. Okay, let's go back to our slides here now. I can. And this is our website. Probably Amy will put the link on chat. So we have a lot of like products. They're all funded by support, federal support, and for example, USDA, NSF. So they're all free for use. So we have materials on food safety, food science. We have a lot of math content, and a variety of other products that you can use and explore. We also have our Learning Games Lab, which is the space where we do a lot of user testing and game development. So this is like some pictures from our sessions with youth, where we do a lot of testing with them, and also we teach them game design and media literacy. So the Learning Games Lab is basically a space full of games that we bring like adults, teenagers, and youth to do some testing as we develop the product to make sure that the things that we are designing is in alignment with the audience that we are designing for. And I also like to have this slide here to explain basically what we do in terms of like work in our department. So as you can see in this diagram, you have the community needs and you have the university knowledge. And I think that I should have changed that, Amy, and I think my slides got. Basically, we have academic knowledge there. And then we have these 3 major components that make this gap, bridge this gap between the community needs and the academic knowledge. So we have like teaching, we have research. And for our department, we do a lot of extension. So for example, I'm a faculty myself, and most of my appointment is research and extension. And the way that we deliver this scientific, sometimes very complex knowledge to our audience, to our community, is through innovation and using educational technology. So we create like games as the one that we're going to present for you today. We have animations, we have websites, social media. The idea that we translate that scientific, sometimes very complex knowledge in a way that people in the community can use that and apply that in a specific work function that might need, or their daily life, or like education, any kind of situations they need that content. And to do that, we collaborated with a lot of folks. So we have a lot of great applications. We do that a lot. So we collaborate with specialists, faculty, agents. Maybe some of you have collaborated with us, or are you looking for some media development? We would love to collaborate. And I think the sky is the limit. I think our team is very capable. We have like a professional team of like artists and animators and programmers working full time in those products. So we can create from simple social media or animations to more complex like games and virtual reality applications, all with research base and for specific content. Now I want to hear from you, since I talked a little bit about games and possibilities in terms of like extension or the things you're trying to teach. I have this Padlet here, and I'm curious to see, to hear from you. What do you think of kind of like learning content that we can benefit from a game, or like what kind of thing you're trying to teach that maybe a game can help you to teach that content or deliver that message? So I think Amy will put the link on chat. If I can do that, I think, because I'm the slides, or you can use your phone and go scan the QR code and go to Padlet. Let me see if I can get the link to the Padlet. I think I need to exit my full screen, and then I can put the link there. There we go. I hope I updated the link. If not, you're going to go to the wrong page. Let's see. Let me see if that's the correct one. That is not the correct one. Okay, let me find it.
The QR code is going to the correct one.
Okay, but I'm wondering that maybe people will need the link if they are using the browsers.
Yep.
Let me see. There we go. Okay, now I have the correct link on chat. And as you go there, I think we have a question on chat. Dory asks, is this for, I'm assuming, neurodiverse kids or general population? So we design with accessibility in mind. So a lot of our products, we have consideration for accessibility. And I feel that this game can be used by neurodiverse population or also general population. So for example, we try to avoid like time pressure and stuff like that, that for neurodiverse populations can be a little tricky. So we have some design considerations about that. And I'm going to talk about that, design for inclusion, in a bit. So let me see, what kind of answers are you putting on Padlet if you're able to get there? Soil water testing, water decision arid west, life skills for special needs audience. That's great. How to support their community with their strengths and skills. We have a lot of great ideas for games.
Our team has done a lot of soil and water testing products, and we would love to do a game about that someday. So whoever put that up there, if you want to collaborate, get in touch with us.
Yeah, and we have it's not like necessarily a game, but we have like an interactive for nutrition and education for the USDA My Plate, My Day. So we can also put that on chat. So if you can use that interactive, might be interesting for you. Basic financial education. Yes, you're in the right place. We have this game already in place. Creating a product and simulating business. Oh, that's a great idea. We have one that's farmers market vendors, but it's more like food safety component. But I would love something more like that, creating your business and navigating that financial situation as well. Science, media literacy, that's also great. That's nice. I see a lot of potential collaborators in this call. So if you have an idea, just reach out to us. We have a lot of experience with grants that we can work with you, putting some grants and getting some funding to design some of those materials. Okay, I'll go. Oh, recycling. We had like a food waste hackathon with youth last year. It's not necessarily recycling, but it's related to climate change. So I personally like those kind of like topics that tie to climate change. So recycle will be very interesting. Thanks for your inputs. I'm go back to the slides, but I'll leave this open. So if you can keep adding things, or you can come back and see other ideas later. Let me go back here. And then I'll just, at this point, I'll give you the introduction of an overview of the presentation. So we're gonna do like a gameplay session about the Night of the Living Dead game, which is a financial literacy game. Then Amy, gonna talk about the process. How do we create a game? How's the process look like? I will share some of the resources because, you know, the game is never enough. So we have like some other teaching materials to use and combine with the game. And then at the end, we have some space for questions. So Amy, I'll hand it to you.
Okay, so I'm going to go through this quickly so you all get a chance to play the game. And I've put the link in chat, so if you want to go ahead and load it now, feel free. So the question is, why did we make a game about credit score? That does not seem like a super relevant topic, right? Who cares about credit score? Who needs to learn about credit score? But it turns out the answer is almost everybody. Next slide. Or next, yeah. So if you are going to take on student loans, you need to understand your credit score. If you're going to buy a car on credit, if you're going to need to be approved for housing, even if it's a rental, your credit score could be checked by your landlord. And even applying for a job, employers can check your credit score to try and get a sense of your reliability. And if you want to hold a credit card, it's kind of a chicken and egg, where a credit card builds your credit, but you also need to have good credit in order to be approved for one. Next slide. So we knew in 2016, when we first developed this game, we knew this game was awesome because everybody who played it in front of us told us it was awesome. Whenever we did youth programs, the kids would want to play it over and over again. That whenever they had free time, they would want to play this game. When we did financial literacy sessions, instead of the kids being kind of bored or disengaged, if we started with this game, they stayed engaged for the whole topic. So we knew that we had a good game, but the problem was it was only available on iPad, not even iPhone. So you had to have specifically an iPad in order to play this game, and that was not a very big audience. So we needed a way to reach more people. Next slide. And that is where NTAE really, really helped us out, because this was exactly the kind of project that this funding supports, where you're expanding something that already exists to reach your audience better. And that's what we did in 2024. Next slide. So let's all go ahead and click on that link, nightofTheLivingDead.org. I put it in chat, and we're going to play for 10 minutes. Maybe a little less than 10 minutes because we got started late. And then we're going to reconvene and we're going to talk about it together. So go to nightofTheLivingDead.org. It does have music. If you don't want the music to play, there's a little like musical note in the upper right-hand corner, and you can click that and the music will turn off. And I suggest don't try to play the game well. Just play it however you want right now. Just start playing as fast as you can and kind of see what happens. And if anyone has questions as they play, they can put them in chat and we will help you. Matthias, do you want to actually play along on screen?
I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. The audio was so loud. I was like, what?
The
So
kids
if you
really
wanna-
like this audio because it's kind of spooky and
It's spooky. It really gives
Yeah.
the vibe. So you just go play.
so this is like just a little intro animation and then the game will start.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that we added for accessibility. We add this animation to give more context of the game. That was something that we find out when we did some user testing. Okay, I'm going to round 1 now. Woohoo, I have a credit card. Great. That I can use to pay zombies. Okay, I have the shack rat zombie approaching me. So then as you can see in the side, I can make the decision whether if I want to pay with credit card, savings, payday loan, and cash, which I don't have cash right now. And then here I can explore some supplies. Should I escape the 2 hours or I continue? I'll continue. I'm brave. Oh, yes. So this is where you explore the money and then you need to go there to exchange for. This is the supply actually you explore and then you go here exchange for cash. And then you have here the insurance person. You can have some insurance and then also the car if you want to buy a car. And then I can move my money on the ATM at home. If I move from savings, I can move from here. I can put, let's see what I have here. I think I'm good with my savings. Maybe I'll put some from my savings. This was my round 1. Okay, now I have the choice to pay the credit card. Full balance, other amount, or minimum, or do not pay. Who can get an education? Let's see. Why do I need an education? Okay, sounds like a good deal to have education. Now I have a student loan. Okay, maybe we should look for insurance or a car. Can I buy a car? I cannot buy a car. Oh, I need a house first with the garage. Maybe insurance will be good. Okay, now I have insurance. Okay, now I just go to sleep. Okay, now I have a lot of stuff to pay. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Payday long. Okay, I'm gonna try to pay everyone to see if I have enough money for it. I think I do. And then this one, I'll use my credit card. Ish, I lost 10 points. How are you guys doing it? What kind of round are you right now? Or what's your credit score right now? Mine is 605.
If anyone's willing to share their in-game credit score, yeah, put it in chat. We'll probably play for just like 2 more minutes.
Kelly, 620. Okay, doing good. I'm trying. I cannot get rid of the subprime loan now. I'm stuck with him. I might just run away. Wow, I run away from him and lost so many points. I'm just trying to pay everything. Get rid of all the zombies. But the credit card always come back. Oh no. Okay, let me get my money. Maybe we can buy a new house. Let me see. This is for rent. Maybe this one. Ah, my credit score is too low to rent this house, so I can't afford it. Actually, I can afford it, but my credit score is too low. Okay, explore this. My rest.
Okay, and maybe we should wrap it up here.
Okay.
Make sure we have time for people to give us their thoughts.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. Let me go back here. Usually that's the hardest part when you do the workshop. Bless you, the workshop with youth or young adults. Stop playing. Like, oh, come back to us. Let's talk again.
Yeah, we'll try to give them a little more time than that, like maybe a full 15 to 20 minutes. And some of them will be able to get through the whole game in that time, and others will have only gotten partway through.
Hmm. Yeah, it
And
is interesting because, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, you go.
I will say that some of them, instead of like trying to get the best credit score, they try, their goal is to get the worst credit score. So they try to do the worst decisions, and because they are in this safe environment, they can play and explore that thing. Because if they would try to do that in real life, it will not be fun to get that credit score back.
Yeah. So what learning outcomes did you all kind of start to see as you were playing? If anyone has any learning outcomes that they were seeing in the game, please put them in chat. And while we're doing that, we just want to really give a big thank you to everyone who helped us with this project. We had very robust support from the NTAE team. We had Don Mellion and Chuck Ross, Tira Edelman, Aaron Wiebe, Rose Hayden-Smith, and Heather Martin, who met with us many times, helped us brainstorm, helped us create marketing and promotion activities, including some promotion that Google donated through their ads program, helped us write some scholarly ebooks about the process of building the game and get those distributed. So it was really wonderful to have such a great team of supporters on this process. And we also want to recognize some of the original funders for the original version of the game in 2016, CoBank, and then the Northwest Youth Financial Education Network. So the game development process, for us, this is something that we did in 2016 with the original game, and then we did it again in 2024 for the new priorities that we had with this expansion project. It includes the full life cycle of the game, from design and prep to the actual production, and then to maintenance and support and distribution, which is ongoing. Next slide. And all of that process includes both the game developers and the content experts, so that when we make a change to the game, we know how that's impacting the way that we're conveying the knowledge. So design and development is not a linear process, but it circles back to revisit what our priorities were, what our learning outcomes for the players are, what our accessibility considerations are. And Matheus is going to talk a little more about that, I think.
Yeah.
And all of this includes formative testing with youth so that we see how they're responding to each change that we make, each piece of art that we create. We get their feedback at a time when we can still act on that feedback.
Yeah, I think it's just important to mention here that for this one specifically, we tested with youth because they were the audience for the game. But we also have like products that we test with adults, all depend on the audience to the product that we are creating.
So the main learning outcomes for this game are, first of all, that credit cards build credit when you use them wisely and pay them off fully every cycle. That making payments on time is crucial to both your credit score and also just keeping your budget going. If players start postponing payments, like when Matheus ran away from the subprime zombie, they really see how that compounds and kind of gets them into a hole. And since you can play this game over and over again, you can really see the different ways that you make it hard on yourself versus the choices you make early on in the game that make it possible to then succeed. And of course, keeping your balances low in your credit accounts and high in your savings account. And then finally, understanding the difference between lenders. So a student loan is a more successful form of debt to take on compared to subprime debt, which is going to have such a high interest rate and need to be paid back on such a short schedule that you will struggle to succeed. And also knowing that you have to be prepared for emergencies and that you can't predict them. So sometimes the chihuahuas get you and sometimes they don't. And having insurance is what makes the difference in that not impacting your budget too badly.
So
and for teachers, yes, go. I'm going to pass it off.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. For teachers to support all of this process, we have really robust supporting materials. So if you know someone who wants to teach with this game and maybe they don't feel fully competent in financial literacy, everything they need is there. So you can teach with this game as an extension educator, even if financial literacy is not your prime expertise.
Yeah,
Okay.
and sometimes if you need help to implement the game with the program that you have, if you need something very specific, you can also reach out to us and we can help you make some accommodations, or how can we help you to use in a specific activity that you're planning for your program. We also create a series of like short videos with Luke Erickson, the content expert for this project. So we have like topics from using credit cards or credit cards do's and don'ts. So there's a lot of like very quick videos with the gameplay in the background of Luke, and he's talking about like in this like funny style, how can we deliver more of this information, of these concepts. So if you're interested in watching those videos as well, they are available on the website, and they go very well together with the game. So maybe you can plan like a part of your sessions, like you start with an animation, then you have some gameplay, then you have some discussions. So even though we are passionate about game and game design, we also understand that the game is always never enough to teach a content. So for that reason, we try to create different resources and different materials to support educators to deliver that content. So in terms of accessibility, part of this new round of funding that we want to have is like to deliver this game, not only removing just from the iPad app possibility to be able to be played in a web browser. So the way the game is set up right now, you can play the game using your phone, using an iPad through the browser. You go to a browser and you type the URL, you can play the game. We also had some improvements in terms of like accessibility for modern needs. So the game is completely playable using the mouse or also the keyboard. So we know that some users, they have some low mobility that they cannot use the mouse, so they can fully play the game using the keyboard. In terms of like users with cognitive needs, we add this intro animation at the beginning of the game that gives more context while you're playing this game, in terms of like players expect what's going to happen in the game, in terms of like, oh, I'm playing this because of that reason. And also throughout the gameplay, we add some more feedback in terms of like based on the decisions of the players, so they can see in real time if they make a specific decision, they get a feedback on that during the gameplay. That's also help learners with some cognitive needs if they need more explanation about some specific decision. We have an accessibility framework if you're interested in reading and learn more. So we talk about like accessibility, representation, and diversity in our media products. So if you're interested, this is an open source material that you can consult. But if you have questions, you can always reach out to us, and we are happy to share more information about our process and how we handle accessibility for educational materials. So previously, this game had like a study in 2019 that measured the effectiveness of the game. We have like very positive results. So we have like high levels of engagement. We have like a significant knowledge gain, and also an intense change of behavior in the participants. So right now we're doing another round of study with this new version of the game. So if you're interested in participating or using the game as part of your program, we can work with you to collaborate on this data collection and to share those findings. And also, if you have any great ideas or media that you want to design, feel free to reach out to us. We are always looking for collaborators and people that are passionate about their content or their program, and how can we use media and innovation to teach that content. So feel free to reach out to us if you have any idea. And that's it that we have. Thank you so much. I have this link here because we are extension, so we appreciate feedback on this session. If you can give us some time and feedback on this session, how can we improve and how that was helpful for you. In the link, you can also, on the survey, you can also ask for a copy of the slide deck if that interested you. And with that, we open the floor for questions. You feel free to type your question on chat, or if you want to mute yourself. Yeah, let's hear from you.
And there was a question about how to access the teacher materials, and those are linked from the main game website. Up at the top, there's a tab called Teaching with the Game, and you can download all those teacher resources. And Melanie also says she'll send out an email with all these links.
Oh, let me put the link to the survey on chat because I only have the QR code and I figure people will be on the browser. So as you're talking with Amy, I will find the link for that survey.
Amy,
I had asked, oh, go ahead.
Oh.
Yep, please.
Yeah. Go ahead, Amy.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to ask if you all had partnerships with teachers or anyone else that uses this game like in after school activities or in classrooms or summer camps or anything like that.
Yeah, so Luke Erickson, who is our content expert at University of Idaho, he runs a lot of programs primarily for young adults, so like older teenagers. And he has been using this game since 2016 as part of his financial literacy curriculum, and he's had really good results with it. And I believe he also has some teachers and 4-H leaders who have been using it in Idaho. And then we used it in our summer camp that Mateus runs with middle school youth. So it's actually been used with all of the age groups from middle school through college successfully. And it seems to be appealing to everybody at all of those ages.
Yeah, definitely. Because just from what I see, there is a lot of different programming going on with financial literacy in youth. And they could, incorporate this game. So
yeah, we have a pending partnership right now with a nonprofit organization that does financial literacy curriculum for schools. And they are hoping to include this game in their curriculum.
great.
Yeah, I was finally able to put the link on chat for the survey. So if you're interested in give us feedback, the link is there.
We really appreciate all of you being here and trying out the game and learning that if you try to escape the Chihuahuas, you might break your leg. Thank you, Jessica. I hope that your 4-H people can use it. That would be awesome. Thanks, Dory and Judy. Have any of you done other financial literacy programming? Yes, that's great. Thanks, Jennifer. Oh, okay. Everfi. Thank you for that, Kent. I will look them up and reach out.